Have you ever witnessed a man go from composed to disastrous in less than 60 seconds? Because the decade's biggest collapse was just delivered by Kirk Frost. No, it had nothing to do with business dealings, record labels, or his collection of dubious-looking fedoras. It has to do with a film of a bedroom. Yes, his wife Rasheeda, as a constantly entangled young jock, are shown in this leaked, blurry. Now, explain to me how Kirk gets his hands on a tape that's titled "Play Me 2 nights prior to the shoot." And why did he rush across the set as if he were trying out for a tragedy starring Tyler Perry? Was it sabotage, staged, or outright treachery? Let's also discuss that video. We're talking about gloomy illumination, a hotel room, clinking drinks, overlapping legs, intimacy, and the possibility that it was a crime scene for emotional reasons. How then did the messiest couple in love and hip-hop go from being a power couple to going public in only a few short minutes? Who forwarded the video? How come Jock's hand felt like rent money on Rasheeda's thigh? Hold on tight, for this isn't just reality TV. Did Kirk actually say, "Let the world see this"? While the cameras continued to roll. This is a complete emotional breakdown. Well, how about we set the scene? On the set of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. It's supposed to be just another hectic day where trust evaporates in Trest eyes quickly than Kirk's self-control and drama. Flowing more drama icily than bottled water. However, this catastrophe wasn't your typical one, darling. Was a record-breaking, history-making catastrophe on an Olympic scale. Because this isn't about someone arriving late to a green screen session or someone unfollowing you on Instagram. No. This is a broken marriage. A bedroom moment that was leaked. A cast that was so unsteady that the production almost stopped. Who is involved then? Oh, 3 of reality TV's most dependably dramatic piece-averse and scandal-prone personalities. Let's begin with Kirk Frost, the man of the hour. Infamous for Behar, emotionally irritable and allergic to responsibility. Kirk's name has been linked to more controversy since season 1 than a mixtape by an expired rapper. From secret babies to scandals involving cheating. Kirks are the subject of legendary shame on reality TV. You can tell that something's serious. Must have gone horribly wrong when Kirk loses his temper. Rasheeda, the boss chick rapper who became a wife, co-star, and emotional captive, is another example. She supported Kirk for years, despite baby mama's strange eighth babbins and treachery. However, now that she's in the hot seat, the roles have been reversed, and wow, was she unprepared for the fire. Finally, he walked off stage wearing sunglasses and a smile he never earned. Oops's human counterpart, young Jock. Even though Jock has gotten into more trouble than a set of Apple headphones, he nonetheless manages to keep his image intact, still doubtful. He is similar to the person who claims to have thrown the first punch, but arrives late for the fight. You saw the image. How, therefore, did these 3 get involved in such a significant scandal? According to sources, the controversy began when Kirk received an enigmatic flash drive that was either slid under his dressing room door or given to him by a salty crew member. Depending on who is spreading rumors, Mona Scott Young herself, L. Scott, stated, "Hold up, y'all did whatto? Let's rewind." We what? Lie know that Kirk opened a file called Play Me, and the contents were sufficient to erase whatever chill he had ever feigned. Within the video, a poor quality, clearly not Rasheeda and Young's preciosity, is supposed to be visible. In a motel room, Jock, they were drinking, joking, and sitting quite near to each other, with Jock's hand casually put up on Rasheeda's leg as if it were his after-party. There was no camera crew, makeup, or narrative line. Not friendship, but the feeling. The energy is undoubtedly not harmless. As you are already aware, Kirk is not a subtle person. Stu didn't even ask questions, pause, or replay. Instead, he transformed a filming day that was meant to be about someone else's baby daddy drama into Kirk Frost's post-apocalyptic meltdown by storming onto the set. 3 individuals on the scene, together with a lone production assistant who, reportedly leaked an audio tape, claimed Thaddeus taped late, silent, angry, and holding receipts. He just looked across the room at Rasheeda for the first 15 minutes. She waved a little and grinned awkwardly. Then, without blinking, he exploded. Kirk yelled across the set as if it were a combination intervention and church revival. "That's what you guys have been doing behind my back." "Do you believe I'm a joke?" Everybody froze. Jock attempted to intervene, presumably believing Kirk was exaggerating. Until Kirk, acting as though he were acting out a scene from WWE, slammed a folding chair into the wall. The producers went into a frenzy. Oh, the cameras continued to roll. The day's quote then appeared. "Don't cut nothing, please. Shawnee thing girled this." Show them what happens when you put your trust in the wrong people. A pin could be heard dropping. Or perhaps that was Rasheeda's soul departing her body. Playing it casual, Rasheeda approached carefully and said, "Kirk, you don't know the whole story. Ma'am, the only narrative that trying to justify it in front of live cameras is worse than getting caught." Kirk wasn't having any of it. "Tell me what it is then, because it appears like you guys are having a great date night, complete with drinks and leg rubs." From where I'm standing, Jock finally said something at that point. "Defense weight for eacher, completely wrong, Kirk. Nothing happened that night. We were relaxing. Club was over. We were worn out. Was only a feeling. Feelings only. This playlist isn't for summer, sir. It's a marriage." As if the shouting wasn't enough, Kirk then produced a still frame from the No Famas video and slammed his phone down on the table while ranting. "If I'm crazy, then tell me why this exists. The picture is hazy. HD 4000 ultra tension." The internet quickly gained popularity. Before the group had even finished filming, a screenshot was posted online by someone from the production. Bless their filthy heart. That evening, Twitter was in flames. Trending hashtags included hashtag JoeSC.Hands2, hashtag KirkBreakdown, and hashtag RasheedX revealed. Like in the Civil War, but with more lace fronts and less reason, fans picked sides. The remainder of the cast, meanwhile, was observing from twirried lines. Not sure whether to participate or act as though they didn't witness anything, according to reports during a confessional. Even Mimi Faust mumbled, "Look, Kirk has experienced. At Deal, however, I would have also lost my temper over this." Rasheeda refuses to leave the set just when you think chaos can't get much worse. She remains in her vehicle and insists on see the video for herself, as it seems that she hasn't witnessed what Kirk witnessed. No one had the flash drive, but she tells the staff if he saw something, I need to see it too. Kirk refused to divulge. In the meantime, Jock was sitting in a green room by himself, fuming in silence as he whispered to a producer, "How long do you think she's been lying to?" "Me." He goes silent all of a sudden. There are no jokes anymore. Just regret-flavored air and clumsy pacing. Where were we then? Yes, indeed. Kirk is tense, Rasheed's automobile is locked. Additionally, young Jock is someplace acting as though he isn't solely to blame for this. It's hip-hop, anarchy, and classic love. However, a new video appears right when you thought the drama reached its climax. Wobs and trending hashtags. Yes, you read correctly. Because it seems that this Greek tragedy in lace fronts required more than one hazy footage, Rasheeda's phone buzzed with a text from a block number connected block night as she sat in her car angry. MP4 was made public by a video file called Rasheeda's Secret Deal. And what is the job of our girl? She pulls it open. Evidently, what transpired was a covertly taped conversation in which Rasheeda sat with a network producer from a competing reality show about leaving LL in favor of a larger purse and greater screen time. No mention of telling Kirk and no sign of him. And you deserve your own program because of the audio's blatant treachery. The producer claims that you, not your marriage, are the brand. We will construct around you. Rasheeda was Kirk. Oh, phew. Someone play the gavel sound for La Angevalder. Rasheeda trembled when she realized that was more than just that one. Jock in a hotel vid. It's about every video.g Kirk was unaware of. Yes, things aren't looking now that he does. Kirk doesn't respond when Angel, a friend of Minda Mutual and sporadic cast member who somehow always appears like a reality TV guardian, tells him, "Yo, Kirk, man up. You can't run from this. Talk to her." He is completely shut off. With each flashback, the hairline gets farther away. Betrayal weighs heavily on the chest. No pride. Trust was broken. Like a jock's barber secrets, emotions are oozing out. However, this is where things get even more. According to insiders, there were multiple videos on the initial flash drive. There were 3. The third one purportedly shows Jock making fun of Kirk in a conversation with producers. But it was never broadcast or leaked. Yes, Jock allegedly stated, "Brace yourself, man. Kirk been sleeping on Kirk Hashidita so long. Rasheeda, Ford she. Didn't leave his dusty years ago. She need a man who uneasily shows up. Stop. Stop." That sounds not just like someone who crossed a boundary, but al boundary mion who crossed the state border, the darn bridge, and the highway. As if it were Thanksgiving drama with a side order of betrayal, fans devoured it. Twitter took off. There was a surge in Instagram blogging. Reactants on YouTube stopped their mukbangs to provide their opinions. According to the online consensus, Jock theatrical. Rasheeda was either playing both sides or planning her departure. Goes beyond hip-hop and love. It's divorce court with the jester Jock. Y'all better roll cameras on this. It's bigger than this thing we faked last season. Spice, who usually keeps to herself unless there's a beat involved, allegedly contacted the private text thread. Screenshots of castmates taking sides were provided by an unidentified source. It's already the reunion episode. As usual, Carly's reading was disorganized. Rasheeda was always dubious. I actually saw her and Jock. Additionally, I was club function last month. The only reason Erica Mena jumped in was to stir things up. Let's not forget what Kirk accomplished in the hot tub. Back into a tub, bringing it for even though he is weeping now. Because sometimes that's all you need, even Scrap need. Ho isn't even involved. Chose to jump in with a simple damn it. Producers became alarmed as the cast lost it in the group conversation. In terms of hip-hop and romance, they set up an emergency meeting which entails someone being gassed and confused within the next hour. However, who will be responsible for this mess? Kirk continues to disappear. Rasheeda is currently watching from her car, watching the second video with shock. According to reports, Jock is keeping quiet, which most likely simply means he disabled comments on his Instagram. While we're about it, let's discuss Jock because people are always asking if he went too far. Was this a PR ploy gone, emotional infidelity, or just Jock being Jock? An inadvertent controversy with poor timing and poorer judgment. Let's see what his record is. Apparently absent are baby mama problems, accusations of infidelity, offensive jokes during solemn scenes, and limits with married ladies. Thus, when someone says that Jock wouldn't do that to Kirk, we must inquire as to what proof was used. Kirk eventually speaks with Rasheeda. Rather, he enters a production meeting with swollen eyes and pressed lips, while clutching the flash drive like it was an exhibitor in effects. After slapping it onto the table, he says, "Play it for them. Let the whole team see what I saw." When they do, there is stillness and gasps. It's also stated that a producer responded, "Well, changes everything." The video wasn't only intimate, but it was sentimental. It displayed Jock and Rasheeda discussing Kirk, making fun of his behaviors and labeling him as aloof and overly solemn. Yes, exactly. This treachery was more than just bodily. The hit job was emotionally charged. Regardless of how lovely the time in the hotel room was, the perception was already hurting. Perception is reality. In reality television, fan theories erupted on social media. Some people believe that the entire situation was staged by the production, who said that the purpose of the leaked tape was to increase the number of viewers. Others believe that a crew member who was purportedly sacked a few days prior was supposed to bring the drive to Kirk. Previously, according to some, Mona herself dispatched it all tainted Game of Thrones Raven. Another crazy notion is that Rasheeda shared the video herself in order to win people over and turn it into a spin-off? You see, we're not denying that it's true, but we're also not denying that it is. In any case, the harm was done. Kirk fell silent. Rasheeda halted the video to prevent cast members from fighting on camera. The production team had to rearrange a whole shoot and Juck shoot. Canceled 2 appearances. Security was briefed as well. Handle This has a lot more genuine emotion than a reunion show. The most terrifying incident, however, was a voicemail that was purportedly made by Kirk to a close friend. I no longer even give a damn about the show. All I want is the truth. All I'm trying to figure out is whether the woman I've been battling for all these years was helping me. Oh, phew. Give him a fresh PR team and a tissue, please. And Mint physically appears at Kirk and Rasheeda's house just as things are beginning to calm down. Like a therapist who has witnessed too many instances, he enters. Both of you must stop. You've been keeping secrets, Rasheeda. You've been harboring resentment, Kirk. This won't go away on its own, and none of you is innocent. Till Rasheeda eventually speaks, there is silence. I wasn't unfaithful to you. However, I am equally to blame for not telling you everything. And there concludes section 2. Because part 3 begins where everything are beginning toil apart and the true feelings are beginning to surface. And it becomes much more intense, with possible legal repercussions, network damage control, and a decision that might change everything. Where did we end up then? Yes, exactly. Rasheeda has acknowledged that she didn't tell Kirk everything. Mint just revealed the truth, and Kirk is still elsewhere, quietly fuming. Nobody else dared to say, neither of you are innocent. Officially entering what I like to call the no turning back zone, because while it was drama, tears, and hotel room thigh touching up until this point, now it's lawyers, contracts, reputation collapse, and the kind of network panic that forces producers to make emergency Zoom calls on a Sunday. Let's start with the most immediate disaster following the second video leak. A leaked screenshot showed a vague calendar invite labeled All Opportunity. Call Rasheeda Confidential on Confidentially's phone from 2 weeks ago. Yikes. Now, we're not just dealing with scandal. We're talking breach of contract, network betrayal. And the very fact that Rasheeda plotted a potential switch to another reality show without telling Kirk or production executives at VH1 completely lost it. For example, cancel the sushi lunch and call legal. Actual risk of Rasheeda's complete termination from the series. An unnamed executive told an insider site, "We've dealt with violent altercations, pregnancy, and adultery. The network was in full damage control mode, hoping to edit the season to reframe the drama and paint it as a misunderstanding, but the internet already saw it." You can't unsee Jock rubbing thighs and rubbing Heisering's sweet betrayal. Nevertheless, negotiating a spinoff behind our backs is a whole new level of audacity. Now, let's talk about the man whose entire personality this season has become. Visibly betrayed Kirk Frost after going 48 hours radio silent. Kirk broke his silence in the most Kirk way possible by filming a solo confessional in which he was dressed entirely in black without jewelry and larger than a frustrated therapist. "I gave her everything," he said, "and maybe that's the problem. Maybe when you give too much, people forget how to value you." Sir, you cheated on her publicly with receipts and reunion specials. Let's not get poetic all at once. But okay, Kirk's hurt, rightfully so, even if he's done worse. That doesn't mean this doesn't hurt, because this time it wasn't some outside girl trying to break their bond. It was wife laughing in a hotel room with a man he calls a friend. According to insiders, Kirk met with a divorce attorney for informational purposes only. No action has been taken yet, but that didn't stop him from leaving their shared house. For a few days and staying at an Airbnb that sources describe as sadly decorated and likely booked out of rage. Rasheeda, on the other hand, stayed at home, didn't record, didn't reply to the media, and was just spiraling. One friend says she's overwhelmed. Let's get a little messy and legal for a moment. According to reports, lawyers are looking through footage, emails, and even text messages between Rasheeda and a rival network producer. Kirk's camp is also there. Is currently no verified source for how Kirk obtained that video. It seems like everything she built is falling apart, and she is afraid she can't fix it. The truth is still unknown, but the finger pointing has officially started. Speaking of Jock, let's face it, his brand was already shaky. His career has been largely defined by great memes, baby mama drama, and that one time he wore a perm and became a trending topic. Now, Jock is being called a marriage wrecker, a cunning friend, and perhaps worst of all, messy. Some say it was a fired crew member. Others speculate it was Jock himself sending it as a joke before realizing the repercussions. Jock's official statement is still pending, but in the meantime, he's been laying low, seen leaving a studio wearing a hoodie and avoiding questions like the IRS was chasing him. However, a paparazzi caught paparazzling to a friend. It wasn't. Even like that, bro, they're twisting it. I ain't even touched her like that. And you know, messy without charisma is career-ending in this game. Sponsors are allegedly pulling back. A wig company that Jock was supposed to collaborate with quietly backed out. We all witnessed the on the thighs, sir. Now, the situation is even more explosive. Producers are already preparing for the reunions like it's the Met Gala of emotional warfare. With separate green rooms, extra security, and even to moderators in case someone tries to throw hands or storm off. The idea is to get Kirk, Rasheeda, and Jock in the same room and play the video on a large screen for the most agony. According to one producer, if we don't get tears, walkouts, or a camera knockdown, we failed. And you're all set, viewers. Comments such as, if Kirk doesn't cry on stage, this reunion will be better than the Super Bowl have already flooded. Twitter, I'm rioting. Better bring receipts, Rasheeda, or don't even bother to come. Hotel rooms, covert videos, network betrayal, emotional trauma, and more conjecture than a Reddit conspiracy thread have all been involved. Where does this leave Kirk and Rasheeda? Perhaps broken, but not necessarily destroyed because love on. Reality TV isn't about being flawless. It's about perseverance. And in spite of everything, Kirk and Rasheeda had a private dinner a few days ago. No cameras, no producers, just them trying to talk like human beings again. What was said? No leaks. They look tired. Despite all the violations, lies, and internet dragging, they're still not done. However, there was a glimmer of optimism in their eyes. And sometimes that's all you need in the world of reality TV and absurd controversies. And now for the big question, after what we've done. What do you think actually happened after the hotel footage? The mystery flash drive? The off-camera deal-making? The legal threats? The internet roasting and Kirk's full-on emotional collapse? On set, was Rasheeda simply caught at a bad angle with bad timing and even worse PR? Or was this a full-blown betrayal that was disguised as a friendly drink and ended up being a reality TV disaster? And let's not forget about Jock. Did he cross the line? Or was he simply stupid enough to be caught on camera doing something that appeared to be a date night? While the cameras were literally rolling in the next room, here's what we know. The reunion is coming, the tease is still brewing, and is just the beginning. Now it's your turn. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Is Rasheeda playing victim, or is she simply caught in a web of reality TV fakery? Should Jock apologize, or should Kirk have reacted the way he did public meltdown? Chair-slamming emotional confessional in a full black outfit like it was a funeral for his trust. You should like, comment, and subscribe because, in all honesty, it's messy and we're just getting started. Should Kirk leave? Or is this all just another scene in an endless soap opera with better lighting and worse choices?